What is up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire of Assets here, and today we are talking about everybody's favorite newest card game, that is Metazoo, and the first edition release. So hopefully more of you can get your hands on some products without paying the absurd $2,000 for a first edition Kickstarter booster box. And that is what we were talking about, how I think it's going to affect the prices of the Kickstarter stuff, and if I think you should be stacking up, and where you can get your hands on some product. So jumping right into it, I don't know how long this has been out there, but I just saw it on the Metazoo website. Metazoo products should be at your local game store on July 30th, 2021. That is about 2 months from the time this video is coming out, and you will only be able to get the product at your local game store / shop, whatever you prefer to call it. 20% of the product was allocated probably about a month ago on the Metazoo Marketplace website, and then since then they have transitioned from the direct-to-consumer model where you ordered through them, which is what I did. I was a Patreon, so I had some exclusive access because of the $10 a month that I paid. So I believe I ordered a case of booster boxes and then like 4 spell books, couple blister packs, and then 2 of each theme deck, because those are what I missed out on the Kickstarter stuff. But anyways, ordered some stuff on Patreon. That was 20%. The rest is going only to your local game stores. And I'm sure a lot of people are worried about the prices being jacked up. And Metazoo and Mike, the owner, have taken a very strong position against game stores scalping up the prices. And they have basically come out and said that if you sell stuff for above suggested retail price, they are going to cut off your product allocation. So hopefully that is true, and nobody is allowed to charge $150, $200, $300. That is what a pre-order is going for on eBay right now. About $200 to $300 people have been paying, which is really unfortunate. But hopefully game stores will not be able to scalp up the product like that. At least that's what they have said. So there's a lot to kind of unpack there, but we're going to leave that alone. Just know that you should be able to get the stuff at retail. I'm sure it will be very high in demand. Obviously 80% still out there. The print run numbers, there's about 25,000 booster boxes, so 10 times the amount of the first run. But obviously there's going to be a lot more marketing this time around. I've actually heard that there's going to be as much money spent on marketing for the first edition product as there was spent on the entire print run of the Kickstarter, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. But we'll talk about that more in the price. What products are being released. So it's going to be the same products that were released with just one new product. So there's going to be the booster boxes like you see here. There's going to be the spell books. There is going to be the 5 different theme decks. There's going to be blister packs, and then the one sort of new product is called the Cryptid Nation Release Deck. It's retail only, retails for $18.99, and it's going to contain 3 booster packs, a pre-constructed deck, a holographic promo, and a rule book. I think basically what they're going for here is you spend $20 on this, it gets you a deck so you can play, and then also gives you some boosters to open and maybe create some fun new variations in your deck. I'm definitely excited to see the promo in there. Another new thing is the booster boxes are going to have box toppers. I'm not sure if this is a regular sized card or if this is a jumbo sized card. I want to lean towards it's just a regular sized card, but definitely really excited to see what the different box toppers are, and just excited to have some more Metazoo products coming down the pipeline. I know a lot of people haven't been able to get their hands on any of it, which is really unfortunate. But most people just don't have $2,000 to spend on a booster box or $1,000 to spend on a spell book, and I don't blame people. If I hadn't bought this product at retail prices, I would not have any product either. So I was just lucky there. But I am really excited for everybody to get their hands on this. Like I said, the marketing budget is huge. I definitely think that this is going to open up a lot of people's eyes to the game. And it's going to be kind of a crucial next step going forward to the game, which leads me into our pricing discussion. I think there's kind of 2 ways you can look at this. Obviously, all prices are a product of supply and demand, and the supply on the Kickstarter stuff is limited. It can only go down. There's 2,500 boxes. How many of them were opened? probably a pretty significant chunk based on how many it looks like, how many cards are out there right now and that kind of stuff. And that number is only going to fall as more of them get opened. However, there is a lot of people that think that as the new first edition gets released, people that actually want to play the game will not have to buy Kickstarter. They can buy just regular first edition and then go that route. So the supply is variable, but the supply on the Kickstarter stuff is fixed. And then you have the demand, and I think the demand can only go up for the Kickstarter products. Like I said, people can switch to buying the first edition, but if we look at something like Flesh and Blood, for example, which I think is a really good comparison, it's another trading card game that came out in the last 3 years with even more of a focus on playability and not so much on collectability. And there's two different versions if you don't know Flesh and Blood at all. There's like a first edition box which contains the ultra rare cold foils, which instead of it being a rainbowy foil, it is a kind of silvery cold, it's not colorful foil, and those are only found in the first edition boxes. And then they kind of come out with unlimited printing where they just print to meet players' demands, so that players always have affordable cards to play the game. And that game is very focused on playability. Yes, there's a collectability, and they do that first edition boxes for the collectors, but most people, I would say, are actually playing that game, not collecting it. Where if we switch over to something like Metazoo, there's going to be a lot more people that are just collecting the game, similar to Pokemon, than are playing the game. Obviously, if you know Pokemon, the vast majority of people that are buying and trading and reselling Pokemon cards are not in it for the game, they're in it for the collectability. And I think Metazoo is going to go the same way. Obviously, it could be playable, but I just foresee it as being a lot more of a collectible game, which means that things that are in limited supply, like the first edition Kickstarter products, are going to demand much higher prices because collectors want the scarcer items because they know that they will appreciate most likely faster and to higher values than the regular first edition stuff. So if you think this is true, which I think is a pretty reasonable assumption, the more people that know about the game, the more collectors that know about the game, the more the prices on the Kickstarter stuff are going to go up. So this means that when they do this huge marketing campaign, that was the total budget of the first print run, there's going to be thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of more people learning about the game. Hundreds of thousands might be a stretch, but probably tens of thousands, I would say, pretty easily, learning about the game, getting into collecting the game, and then they're going to gravitate, at least a portion of them are going to gravitate towards those high-end Kickstarter products. So I believe pretty strongly that the price of the Kickstarter products is going to go up once first edition releases. I am looking to sell one of my boosters. I believe I have a buyer lined up for that. But I'm going to hold the other 5 of them. I have 6 boxes. I'm looking to sell one to pay for the products that I ordered and then cover the products that I ordered for the first edition release, and then also the products that I bought from the Kickstarter stuff. I could get all my money back by selling just one box, which seems pretty good. And then I could use that money to grade cards, which will be the next thing that I'm looking at doing. So that's just right for me. But I personally am going to hold 90% of the products that I own into first edition. And then I believe the really catalyst for these products going up will be the release of the next set that has been said to come out around Halloween. Obviously, first edition got pushed back to the end of July, which is a little later. Originally, they were figuring May or June, so that has been pushed back a little bit. So maybe, I believe it's called Nightfall or Shadowfall. I think Nightfall sounds right, but don't quote me on that one. But the next set that comes out, I believe people will see that, and if it does well, the first edition sets will really do well too, because the market will sort of be justified and people will see that the game is likely here for the long term, and then that stuff will start going up, similar to Flesh and Blood. I do think that is a really good comparison to look at. But that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Please do not be one of the people going on eBay right now and buying pre-ordering booster boxes for $200 to $300. You don't know if those are going to get delivered. If the price is shot up to $500, all of your pre-orders are going to get canceled, which would be really unfortunate. And that is the probably the best case scenario. That's a bad case scenario. And then on the other side, the boxes fall to $100 and you're still stuck paying $250 for boxes, and you just lose a really big chunk of your money there. So don't do that. Do not pre-order stuff. I don't think it will be worth it. Just try and find a nice local game store that you know is getting Metazoo, or if they don't carry Metazoo, go in there, talk to them, ask them if they would consider carrying Metazoo. I believe there is a cool promo card for people that get a game store to carry Metazoo, so you could get that and also get some sweet products lined up at your local game store. That's all I have to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more Metazoo content like this. I'll be sure to keep you updated when the set does come out around the end of July. Only 2 months to go, so it should go by pretty quick. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.